Selamat sejahtera.
हाँ जी बताएं चलो 1 2 3 start.
Selamat sejahtera. Selamat sejahtera.
हाँ जी. You gotta be louder, everyone. Come on, 1 2 3. There you go, and there we will play now. That's like a booster, right?
Yeah. There was a joke in a movie. You all know Vadivelu, right? The comedian. Yeah. In this movie, he came to Malaysia, whereby he will learn how to say. One lady will say to him, "Selamat datang." Selamat datang means welcome. Selamat datang. So
actually, Vadivelu learned that, but Vivek, he taught us Awas Sanji.
Awas anjing. No. Awas anjing is another word.
Okay.
Yeah. This word, it sounds like and was wrongly interpreted by Vadivelu as Chellama Tattava. You didn't get that, right?
Yes. I was trying to get the joke, but then at the laughing audience over here, I should implement.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. Yeah.
So our team, are we ready to roll? See, look at the laughter bubbles over there. You can make it louder. Better? Yeah. All right.
Okay, let's go
Let's
back.
begin.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Go back to Petronas Twin Tower. Yeah, it's still the tallest twin tower in the world. Yeah, next slide, please. Yeah, another exciting place to go is the Genting Highlands. It is something similar like Ooty. It's very cold. It's about 15 degrees Celsius. It's a very vibrant place. In this place, you can have, there's one of the world's largest theme park is built at this place, similar to Disneyland, and a very fun-filled place. And they have even casinos, and they have water theme park and, fun parks and all that. If you want excitement, we highly recommend that you go there. It is in a mountain. It's I think it's about 6,000 feet above sea level, this place. Okay, next slide, please. Yeah, another beautiful thing about Malaysia is it has the world's oldest rainforest. All right, this is about 130 million years ago. I don't know how they calculate. I think some carbon dating and all. So they said dinosaurs would have roamed this place. Okay, I've not seen any bones there yet, but this is quite a big place. It's about 4,000 square kilometers. And a lot of nature. You can find a lot of greens, animals. It's a good place to do trekking, jungle trekking and hiking as well. And they have what they call the ecological and geographical attractions over there. And more than 100,000 people who come visit every year. I think in India it's called 1 lakh. Okay, so 100,000 visitors every year. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is a slide view on the rainforest. You can see they have this eco-forest bridge running across the forest. They have beautiful waterfalls, and there's somebody there, we call it orang utan. In Malay, orang utan means jungle man. They are known to be the closest species to human, all right? So probably, my grandfather or somebody great-great-grandfather. Okay, and down there you see there is another flower. It is also the world's largest flower. It is found in East Malaysia. It is called the Rafflesia. You can Google and check. It only comes up once in a season, and it's a very, very rare flower. Okay, when you talk about huge, it is as big as like goes up to like 1 meter. Very big flower. Yeah, so it's known to be the biggest flower in the world. So in Malaysia we have a lot of biggest, tallest, beautiful and all that. Not bragging so much. All right, can you have the next slide, please? Okay, the next most important is the food. In Malaysia, you get varieties of food. You have Chinese, Malay, and Indian food, and you have all the other nationality food as well. That's why if you are traveling to Malaysia, you need to have an international tongue, you know. So a lot of people who comes to Malaysia, they always want to go for Indian food. You know, you can get banana leaf there, but if you can acquire better taste, we encourage you to try the Malaysian food, like the Chinese and the Malay food as well. They are really, really great. If you see the next slide, there's some photos. Yeah, photos of the food there. Yeah, you can see the one right at the bottom. It's called nasi lemak. Nasi lemak means fatty rice. Okay, that means it's full of fat. It is actually not full of fat. It's made from coconut milk. The rice is made from coconut milk, and the dishes comes with a little bit of chili paste, peanuts, anchovies, and you have cucumber and egg. Okay, this is very famous food in Malaysia. The best part is this food, you can have it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know, it is not a lunch food or breakfast food. You can have it throughout the day, anytime. It tastes fantastic. Then we have satay sticks, you know, those sticks which are hanging there. Those sticks, it's like meat, whereby you stick it on the skewer and then you barbecue it. It's a very tasty dish as well. So I really urge you, if you come to Malaysia, have some nice Malaysian food. You can be Malay, Chinese, or fusion. Fusion means we combine Malay and Indian food, or Chinese and Indian food. We combine and we come out with our own dishes in Malaysia. All right, next slide. Yeah, and a very good place for shopping as well, especially when you're looking for, you know, clothes, handbags, jewelries and all that. It's a very good place where you can find, and there is some places you can go and have a good bargain, I mean, good price. You should know where to go, you know, so before you go there, you can Google and check where to go and all that. And then you can see from the pictures, you can see, you know, this is some night market, you know, whereby you can get affordable stuffs over there. And not only that, you also can get a lot of branded goods as well in the city area. Okay, so after your shopping and all that in Malaysia, when you are tired, you want to relax and you want to rewind, you can go to the next slide. Yeah, this we don't have exactly like that, but it's, I think it's Photoshop, but something similar. You know, you have this kind of, you know, I want to be there, you know, that kind of look, you know. So you can have your rest, relax, and they have a lot of spas where you can have a good massage, you know, something kind of traditional massage and all that. A very good place to rewind yourself. So I'm almost done here. So, you know, thank you for staying awake and listening. And last but not least, in Malay, the word thank you, we say as terima kasih. All right, terima kasih means please receive my love. The meaning of the word terima kasih. So terima kasih is also known as thank you. So terima kasih, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Raja. I have so many things to put up over here. First of all, I want to congratulate and compliment you for this brilliant presentation, which was so inviting. And of course, those people, जिनके लिए जो last slide आपने यहाँ पे दिखाया, that was heaven, right? At some point of time, you were all thinking, oh my God, I wish I could lay like that, right? But that can only happen if you visit Malaysia, all right? And having said that, the shopping arena which you mentioned, the malls which you mentioned, the bargaining which you mentioned, I think every female right here will be too excited and intrigued. But they won't say a word now. They kind of plan it later. So you're going to have a lot of tourists definitely coming over. Thank you so much for your presentation. And having said that, let us move on to our last speaker for the first session. which we are having right now. Please put your hands together for the Senior Officer, Cultural and Relations, Russian House from Chennai, Mr. Basha, here at the podium.
Thank you so much. Can I have the video presentation? Respected gentlemen here, ladies, children, students. I don't want to talk much, so I want to show something about Russia. So can you put the Russian video presentation, please? Okay. There's a shift. Kindly bear with us.
The applause wasn't too enough.
Yeah.
Probably that is the reason the video denied.
Okay. Okay. On this international summit, here we have a very young children here, young people here. So I want to share something to you with my experience as much you can. This is a here.
Hi, I'm Moscow, dynamic megalopolis. Everything starts here. Hi, I'm St. Pete, the third romantic place in the world, the northern megalopolis of the earth. Hi, I'm Kazan, the home of Salvador Dali's inspiration. I'm in the middle of religion's crossroads for more than 1,000 years. Hi, I'm Kamchatka, more than 180,000 square miles of innocent land, geysers, volcanoes, and hot springs. Dragons sleep here. Hello, I'm Altai, the land of gastronomic impression, the land of emerald rivers, miles of breathtaking roads, and colorful mountains. Hi, I'm Yakutia, the diamond's land, the pole of cold with extremely big range of temperatures. I'm Dagestan, more than 6,000 cultural and historical treasures hidden in ancient cities. Gamsutl is my last mystic sister city of Machu Picchu. Hi, my name is Baikal, energy booster, amazing lake with crystal blue eyes, and winter golf. I'm the biggest skating rink in the world. Hi, I'm Russia, inexplicable, impressive, unforgettable, the country with the biggest territory on earth. Welcome to my world.
Thank you so much. I would like to thank the organizer and my brother, Mr. Ghani, to give us chance to present Russia tourism, the government of Puducherry, and all the audience here for giving this opportunity. And one more thing on this international summit. நான் என்ன சொல்ல வந்தேன்னா always நீங்க வந்து எப்பவுமே young ageல explore பண்ணுங்க. You have to travel more in your young age because you have a lot of time, you have a lot of energy. Once வயசாயிடுச்சுன்னா you won't have time and முட்டி வலிக்க ஆரம்பிச்சிரும். So try to use the opportunities, try to use the opportunities, whatever you explore the world. And I welcome you to Russia. Thank you so much. The last but least, Ellam Pugalam, Iranike.
Thank you, sir. That was definitely short and sweet as well. And he has something very special to give away to all the dignitaries present here on the dais.
Yeah.
And this is
Guide to Russia.
it's a guide to Russia. So whatever we saw right there on the screen is literally a booklet.
Yeah.
Over there. So Lavanya,
Yeah.
what do we do now?
Yeah. We would like to call our United Holdings Inc.'s chairman person, our beloved Muhammad Jinnah sir on stage, please, to give the token of love to all our dignitaries.
And to begin off, I would request Jinnah sir to kindly hand over a book to Mr. Yong Long Ang.
Lawn Planet Pte Limited, Singapore. And he's our motivation speaker just before when we were all tired, and he was like really, inspiring everyone over here. Thank you so much for your speech, Mr. Yong Long Ang.
Correction, just remember me as Lord, L-O-N.
All right. It's our pleasure. Thank you so much. Okay.
We'll definitely keep that in mind. Moving on.
Dr. Hussain Sumi Umar, founder Maldives Halal Travels, Maldives. Mr. Jinnah is giving him a token of love. And
Moving on, we also have Mr. Muhammad Afzal,
MD Pervin Travels India. Mr. Yadla Venkata Rao Garu, Head of the Department of Tourism Studies, Puducherry University, India.
we would also want Jinnah sir to kindly hand over the book to Mr. Shaktivel from Frenchtown 360.
And next, we request Mr. Jinnah sir to give his token of love to the Dr. Isaac Joseph D. Raja, Adipo Labs, Malaysia.
And last but not the least, the person who was the sweetest and shortest for this session. Yes, I'm talking about Mr. Basha.
From Russian Trade Center.
Now I would request all the gentlemen to kindly stand up for the photo opportunity.
Yeah.
And soon after this photo op, ladies and gentlemen, we will be proceeding to the last session for the day. And this last session will be one of the most important topics covered under this.
Yes, all our keynote speakers will be having 5 minutes of discussion with us. And we would like to call upon them on stage after the photo session. Thank you so much to the keynote speakers of the first session over here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we just mentioned that our next session will be one of the most vital of this entire summit over here. And yes, we are talking about medical tourism, something which is pivotal, thank you, sir, which is very, very pivotal in building up the economy of a particular state, especially with the hospitals, the medical centers, the medical facilities are so upfront.
As
Right,
our chief
Lavanya?
minister and our tourism minister told us that Puducherry is not just entertainment or tourism department. It is also a medical hub, which we nobody know actually. So we would like to call for the second session our first keynote speaker, Mr. Ayaz Akbar, chairman and founder OxyMed Hospital India.
Well, Lavanya, Mr. Ayaz Akbar is not joining. Instead, we will be joined by his son, Dr.
Sorry.
Sama Akbar, who is representing OxyMed Hospital, India. So can I please have you on the stage, please? A round of applause, everyone.
And we would like to invite Dr. Damodaran, oncologist, Indira Gandhi Hospital, Government Hospital, Puducherry, on the stage, please.
I know we are actually proceeding towards the end, but
So
that
this is-
actually makes you applaud a little louder. Logic? Thank you so much. Please help me welcome our next speaker, Mrs. Suman Sayani, the founder and CEO of Sayani Healthcare India, with a huge round of applause, everyone.
And on to next, we would invite to Mrs. Afrin Sheikh, Executive Director, Advanced Pakiza Unani LLP India, to come on stage, please. And I would also like to invite Dr. Danny Devasi, Chief Ayurveda Physician, TSL, Nutraceuticals Pte Limited, Singapore. Please come up on stage, sir. Next, we would like to call Dr. Rupa Raju and Dr. Jitendra Revakumar, demure endodontist and aesthetic dentist, on stage, please.
Yes, Dr. Rupa Rajiv, who is a demure endodontist and aesthetic dentist, and Dr. Jitendra Revamkar, who is an implantologist from Elite Dental Clinic. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. And this looks like a full house. This actually looks like a full house, and we're expecting lot of information coming out, lot of ideas coming out, and two people are already engaged in one, as the camera can capture.
Actually, we personally are very happy to see three bold women here, because we asked some women to share few things with us. Nobody has come up. I'm so happy to see you all here.
Lavanya, being a perfect feminist, is saying so. Maybe
Of course
one
I
of
am.
them. All right, thank you so much. But I would want our first speaker for this session, which is on medical tourism, to come forward. Please put your hands together for Dr. Sama Akbar from Oxymed Hospital, India. तालियां हो जाए जोरदार.
A very good afternoon, everybody. It's nice to have an August gathering over here. So medical and medical tourism per se. Well, to be specific, I've been asked to speak about halal and prophetic medical tourism. We'll move on to our first slide. So what is halal? What is medicine per se is something which we should understand that God has given disease and God has also given cure. And every disease which man has, there is some cure to it. So we'll have the first slide. Move on, next slide. Yeah, so God has sent down both disease and cure, and he has a cure for almost every disease which is there. And when you come to halal treatment, it per se means that it should encompass all of these factors. First, you should have fear of God when you start treating somebody. Even as a doctor, when I assess a patient, I always am God conscious about what I'm saying. I want to be honest. I want to be forthright with the patient. And that gives me consciousness. I have strong faith that God is going to give cure for these diseases. I have faith in my medicine. And me being a believer, yeah, I do have that faith in God. But even if you do have faith in a strong faith in scientific facts and beliefs, as a research or evidence-based approach, definitely that's going to give you a better boost with treating somebody. Now, to deal with patients with empathy is another aspect of halal treatment. And to do proper diagnosis to the root cause of the problem, and to design a protocol which is pain-free as much as possible to avoid suffering, unnecessary suffering to the patient. And once the problem is fixed, involve the patient's attenders. It's always important to be holistic in your approach and not just treat the patient, because the people who are going to take care of him once he goes home are those who are going to be taking care of him in the long run. And once you take them into confidence and you manage to give them confidence that whoever and whatever the disease the patient has been treated for is going to get better, they'll be encouraged to take care of him in the long run. Or else if you just do a quick fix surgery on somebody, then you're not going to be able to convince them that in the long run, the rehabilitation and the betterment of the patient is going to be good. Now, you should also have transparency in the treatment protocol. You should tell them exactly and be very clear with how much, what is the cost, and there shouldn't be a disparity in the price. So all this comes under halal treatment. Next slide. Next slide, please. So halal medicine, usually this is what people think. Halal means halal, sacrifice, biryani, mutton. I think everybody would have just, relegated halal to just food, halal stores, or halal biryani, or halal when you go to a restaurant. Well, halal is a much bigger picture. That's why I put this slide right after what halal medicine and treatment entails. It requires a lot more. It requires you to have transparency in your treatment, prevent yourself from having a price disparity, take your patient's confidence, takes your patient's attenders into confidence, and all these details and entities before you get a halal certification. It's not just saying Bismillah and then cutting a goat. That's not halal. That's just maybe the ritual before you make something halal, especially with regards to food. Next slide. So when we did start our hospital, so I represent Oxamed group of hospitals. We had coming from a background of Muslim family, we did have this interpretation that, okay, fine, if we're going to start a hospital, we'll do it the way we know best. So we fashioned our hospital in such a way that it was most convenient for Muslims. Yes, one, it was also convenient for people of all faith. We gave them a place to pray. There was a prayer hall. There was a place to eat. There was a place to perform ablution or purification. You could go wash yourself, and it was a common area. It was a convenient place. And then our good friend, Mr. Jinnah, came over and he visited with a group of people, and he said, boss, you've got all what is required to make this a halal certified hospital. There was a direction towards you pray, you got direction, you've got place, you've allocated space for people to be comfortable, because our treatment especially, it entails a lot of rehabilitative medicine. People with heart failure, we deal with a lot of people with heart failure, and they require to be in the hospital setting for a duration of about 2 to 3 weeks at a time. So it becomes a hospital, they become a part of our family. Many of our patients, they give banquets when they leave and they get better. So when he saw that, an idea struck him and said, you could probably be one of the first hospitals to get halal certification, and it went forth that way. Next. So whenever disease follows somebody, there is a journey of fear. Suppose you're diagnosed, unfortunately, with heart disease. You've got chest pain one day, and then you go to a hospital, and then they say you're a heart patient and you have to undergo surgery, and then everything starts. You need to start taking medicines, you need to start taking pills. It's a journey of fear. Next slide. So next slide, please. So basically, I'll just tell you a basic outline as to what we entail. I know it's a really fun environment here. We're talking about tourism, travel, and having fun. But this is also an aspect of tourism, a little bit, maybe a little bit more somber aspect, but nonetheless, it's an important facet. So most of our patients who come to our hospital, we have patients with heart failure. That's when the heart stops pumping enough blood to the rest of the body. As our speaker from the previous session told us, travel when you're young, because mutti vali vandrum, nenju vali vandrum, adukku piragu onume panna mudiyadhu. So definitely that's good advice. All you students up there, travel, get your first paycheck, make your passports ready and travel to France if you can. Next. So when you have this sort of a substrate, you've got heart failure, you've got a heart which is not pumping enough blood, and it causes the blood to be starved of oxygen, and you don't have enough of oxygen reaching your peripheries. So that sort of situation, our hospital, we try to do the basics right. Everyone understands that oxygen is necessary for our existence. So our goal and aim is to provide oxygen to those parts of the body which are not receiving adequately. Next, please. So first of all, next slide. First of all, I'll just give you a basic thing about our treatment. It entails patients, most of the patients are those who cannot undergo surgery, or surgery has been deferred, or those patients who've undergone surgery, heart surgery that is, and who are still not getting better. That means their heart is still not pumping well enough. They're still experiencing pain. They can't walk even one flight of stairs. If they walk one flight of stairs, they have to sit for 5 to 10 minutes to regain their breath. So these sort of patients are those who are, usually land up in our practice, in our hospital. Next. So we have something, next slide. We have something called the EECP. This stands for Enhanced External Counter Pulsation. I know a lot of big words. EECP, just remember it as a pump. The heart is a pump. It pumps blood to the rest of your body. When that heart of yours, that basically that fist of muscle, 250 grams in the center of your chest, more towards the left side, if that stops working well enough, you need to augment it and give it some amount of help. So the EECP machine is basically a peripheral pump. It's connected to your body. You have cuffs on your legs, as you can see. And whenever your heart relaxes, this machine increases the pressure on your legs and it increases the blood flow back to your heart. So it's a very simple concept. It's electrically mediated. So there's something called an electrical activation of the heart. It's read on the ECG. It is timed according to the ECG and it pumps. It helps heart to rehabilitate. It helps the heart to pump more blood and it increases the oxygen supply to the rest of the body. Next slide. Yeah, so that in turn, it increases collateral blood circulation. So basically heart disease, most of the heart disease, maybe most of the times you have to undergo a bypass surgery. Bypass surgery is just connecting two ends of a blocked road or a blocked artery. Like if there's a traffic jam, you have a bypass around it. If you have a block in your heart, you have a bypass which is put around it. But our treatment, it causes a lot of blood vessels to flow around that blocked part, basically by increasing the pressure by which the heart is contracting. It's like you're becoming an athlete while you're lying down. So it's heart rehabilitation. Next slide, please. So this was a study which was done long ago actually in Russia. They did an angiogram for a dog, and this was the before shot was before the EECP therapy was done. The second shot is after the EECP therapy was done. It shows a lot of white blood vessels. That's the new small blood vessels, collateral blood vessels after the EECP therapy. Next, please. So we have something called the hyperbaric oxygen chamber as well. Again, the root cause, the name Oxymed entails that we try to achieve good amount of oxygen supply to those parts of the body which aren't getting enough oxygen. Many people suffer from diabetic foot disease. They suffer from ulcers on the leg. They suffer from chronic body pain. They suffer from lung diseases. They have also stroke and paralysis. So basically, different parts of the body are not getting that required oxygen. So hyperbaric oxygen, it increases the concentration of atmospheric oxygen around you. It delivers it at a higher pressure. That causes tissue regeneration to become faster. It also causes good muscle recovery. In fact, many athletes, they use hyperbaric oxygen to recover. In fact, the last time we had the Tour de France, the person to recover between stages, he sat in a hyperbaric chamber overnight so that he could recover and take the next stage even better. Next slide. Yeah, so this is the inside of the hyperbaric chamber. 6 people can sit in it at the same time. It's one of the 3 places in India where it's there. There's one in Pune, there's one in Mumbai, and in Chennai we have this center. Next. And we have something called the emitron therapy. For osteoarthritis, we have pulsed field magnetic therapy, wherein we promote cartilage regeneration for those who are unfortunately orthopedically handicapped. They're not able to walk long distances. They're having a lot of chronic pain. This gives them a chance to approach treatment for that disease prior to undergoing surgery, or if they have already undergone surgery, still having chronic pain, they can try and give this a shot, but this also entails a lot of good amount of physiotherapy and exercise and lifestyle modification. Next. So the latest feather in our cap, oncology. So there's a lot of buzz going around. Hyperthermia is something which is exciting now. It's been there for a long while, as our colleague and a co-panelist will tell us, our oncologist. He also said that there was a single chapter in his textbook in oncology for hyperthermia. Now, hyperthermia, it has been theorized to improve the, it causes shrinkage of tumor cells. It's new and it's new. We're still evolving. Papers are still yet to be published, but they have found amazing results in South Korea, and they've been the pioneers in the field. And Jinnah Saab has also given us the technology. We've inherited some amount of information from Adipo Labs. There is a stall outside as well. It's news to me, and I'm quite excited using this, especially in those patients who are inoperable again. Those patients who are unfortunately in advanced cancer disease, we can utilize this machine to cause an increase in temperature to that local area. We just apply the machine to that local area. It causes an increase in temperature. This causes the tumor cells to get shriveled up and shrunk. It causes the NK cells. The body as such has something called natural killer cells. These start generating in more quantities after hyperthermia, and this causes a reduction in tumor size as well. So it's a new and exciting project in the pipeline. We've been going headlong in it, and we're awaiting some good results, and we will probably be publishing in a forthcoming oncology journal very shortly. Next. So yeah, so there is a lot of price discrepancy which happened next. There's a lot of price variation, and there's a lot of argy-bargy when it comes to medical practice. But we try to standardize as much as possible. That's one of our more important things with regards to halal treatment. We're very transparent with what happens. We're upfront. We say, these are your expenditures, these are your costs, this is what's happening. There's one price for all. We try to keep things as simple as possible. Next. Next, please. And yeah, so we at Oxymed, we're always open to ideas. We love the concept of travel. We'd love to go and imbibe and understand. In fact, many of our concepts are from Russia and other places. So ensure good oxygen to every part of your body, and you will never have to visit us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Dr. Akbar, first of all, when you started off, I was a little scared. The huge machines and the new technologies, but then the next moment you made it so basic, so simple for us to understand. And the kind of technology you are talking about, you spoke about right now, it gives us the kind of confidence that whatever happens, we will be treated well in a halal way, and definitely keeping, when you talk about halal, very aptly you mentioned, it is not just about a particular, ritual which is done. It is about being legal. It is about being how true you are. So if you're God-fearing, you will be true.
Yes,
and that's
on top
exactly
of
how
you
we
said that
follow.
God conscious, when we, remember about God conscious, we all believe that the hope restores within it. Thank you so much for your speech, Dr. Sama Akbar. We would like to call upon Dr. Damodaran, oncologist, Indira Gandhi Government Hospital, Puducherry, next in our session, please.
Good afternoon. I thank Jinnah sir for giving this opportunity, and other people on the dais and off the dais. So I'll jumpstart what I'm come here for, medical tourism. Next slide, please. So what we know about the medical tourism is the importance of health. We should know we are very much concerned about what will happen to us, what will not happen to us. So all these things are bring to us a scenario where we look for a quality treatment. So people travel from one place to other place for looking for a better treatment. We jump doctors, we jump hospitals, now we're jumping cities also. This is what medical tourism actually is. Looking for a quality treatment at an affordable price. So this is what part of this tourism is going to be. It's actually a fast and growing concept. And why this is being there? Because of the experienced doctors availability and the standard of treatment, which is around us. Next slide, please. So putting together the importance of medical tourism is what people actually look is the doctor's expertise. How experienced are they to give the treatment, and the technology, what can be used for them, the cost and the less waiting time for them to treatment, and the rich cultural heritage which we have. Next slide. Next. So important fields in medical tourism is the cosmetic surgery, dentistry, the cardiovascular department, orthopedics, joint and spine, sports medicine, the cancer, especially for the higher end treatment, reproductive infertility, women's health, weight loss, the scans, other diagnostic tests. So all these are the top priority for medical travel. Okay. Next slide, please. So coming to this importance of many countries, so India stands about say 7th or 8th in the order of to a medical destination. People mostly come here for the cardiology workup or cosmetic surgery. The other destinations around us, especially the Asian countries or like Thailand, they come for the cardiology, sexual reassessment. Singapore, they come for cardiology, vascular surgeries. So other countries are there as a tourism hub. So India is one of the prominent one because of the expertise, availability, and the low cost. Next slide. So how this will help in the country development is the people come here for the tourism, medical tourism especially, and they spend in hotels, the transports, restaurants, shoppings. So by which the growth of the city or the town will go up, and also the leveraging the skills of medical professionals and incremental revenue for all other departments. So this will help in the country overall. Next slide. So the landmark thing is that if you see this Israeli people, so they have shown an exponential increase in their growth based on the medical tourism. From 2005 to 2011, it's an exponential growth, and it's about double the revenue. Now it is around $137 million only on medical tourism. That's how important the medical tourism plays. Next slide. So why India again? India doctors are best among the international faculties. We got all kind of degrees here, and people will go across cities. They go to the European countries, go to the American people, get the degree and come back to India. So we got both the degrees and the expertise. So we are at par with the Western world, and also we are trying to go into the Eastern world also now, because of language barriers, most people will jump to Western world. So the high quality treatment is available here. The medical technology is at par with all the Western and Eastern, and most people are English speaking. That's what makes us edge for the Western people to travel to India. And there are no racial discrimination for any countries. And the most important part is that you got allied systems like the Ayurveda, yoga, all these are part of our treatment. And we got a huge, doctors are coming out every year, 50,000 doctors, nurses per year. So we got the manpower to tackle all the medical fraternities. Next slide. So what is the weakness we see here is the accreditation. What the international people see is the JC accreditation, which is very important for people to travel to India. So if you look upon it, only about 19-20 hospitals are JC accredited, and about a few 20-30 about NABH accreditation. This is what important for people to look into. They just see the accreditation, the quality, and they come to the particular hospital. And other thing is the high cost for the accommodation, difficulty in travel. Actually, the public transport is not up par with the Western. And most of our medical fraternities who travel to India is all like the non-speaking people, like Arabian countries, the Africans. So we should be like trained in those languages also to accomplish them. So what is the opportunities we have compared to Western is less medical cost and more expertise. And the insurance people actually support the Indian doctors, Indian hospitals than the Western hospitals. And we are available 24/7. Unlike the Western world, people, even doctors are available every time. some patient call பண்ணாங்க, permanently call பண்ணாங்க, I have to pick up the phone. So we are always on the phone, on the people. So that's what gives a more edge to the medical people, like easily available. Next slide. So, and the other threats we have is the lack of infrastructure and the competition of other countries like Singapore and Thailand compared to India. So we have to up ourselves for the infrastructure things. And the rightly point out is one of the 110% increase in the medical tourism is going to happen in the coming years. Next slide. So this is how the medical tourism important in India. So where we stand, where does this Puducherry actually stand? We do some quality work, but the lack is that we don't show up. So the first department I'll bring it was, we heard all the departments who are working every day, day and out, they try to bring all the technologies in Puducherry. These are facilities we do right here in Puducherry. We got the state-of-art EEG, NCB, EMGs are there. And my friend neurologist who does every day all this, uses technology for all kind of treatments. Next slide. And other friend is a good pulmonologist. So we do a lot of cancer treatment. We deal with endobronchial growth, pleural effusion. So we got a bronchoscopy, rigid bronchoscopy. So we easily go into it. We place all the stents, and then we also place the ICD tube ports. We got ICD bags. So we have a mediastinal cryo biopsy can be done. It's the first time in Puducherry. No one has got this kind of mission, but we regularly do this kind of state-of-art intervention in pulmonology department. Next slide. So coming to the oncology, we got all these departments: the radiation, medical, surgical departments, preventive oncology. So new coming thing. Pathology and genetics, intervention radiology, social workers, palliative and hospice care. We got entire departments available with us. Next slide. So radiation department to begin with, we got the radiation facility in Puducherry Cancer Trust Hospital, where there is a linear accelerator with the brachytherapy facilities available with a CT simulator. Next slide. And we got the all kind of interstitial templates, brachytherapies we do. So a few examples I had to quote. This is one person who's been left behind without any treatment. We started with giving a neoadjuvant chemo, radiation, concurrent chemo radiation. Now she has actually saved her face. If she has gone, she would have removed her face and keep it. Now if you see pre-treatment, post-treatment, she has got a complete response. So this is what the technology is actually there. We can do things which is there in the hand with a good quality of work. Next slide. So this next patient list I'm going to say is about, like, don't remove breast for all breast cancer. We actually preserve them. This is what technology we have. Putting all the needles into the tumor bed, we actually save the breast, burn only the tumor tissues. So we do a breast conservation therapy. So this is what I'm going to be pointing out. So next slide. This can be done in brachytherapy. This radiation travels along the tubes and then burns it. This is the, again, next patient who, what we did is, we have this patient actually recurrent severe cervix. She has completed her surgery, got a local recurrence. So there again, she's left behind. We again put it under spinal anesthesia. We put all the needles in the vaginal growth, and we have done the radiation only to the particular spot, and we're able to spare the bladder, rectum, and other surrounding organs. Next slide, please. So this again, next thing we do is we preserve the limbs. We don't sacrifice the limbs. This is actually a patient with a huge sarcoma of the, it's a kind of swelling. It's a kind of cancer comes in the limbs. So we remove the tumor, and we again place all the needles. You can see the wire there. Place the wire and then close the flap, and you give radiation along the tubes. So you burn the post-operative bed. Again, you save the limbs, and post-operative patient actually walk. Next slide. This all we done in Puducherry. And we got a daycare facility in Puducherry Cancer Trust Hospital. We got a full-time day doctor, a trained chemotherapy trained nurse who knows how to handle the drug, how to mix, how to give chemo. So we got this few beds there. So we do everything in Puducherry in an affordable cost. Next slide. Then we got 2-3 colleagues of me who does a good, again, very impressive work. And this lady came with a huge abdomen. And again, she's been saying, go to Jipmer. So here, all people only knows go to Jipmer. So they don't know other people who's working hard around it. So patient came to us. We took the challenge of taking the tumor out, and they did effective work of removing this huge mass. And patient's now disease free. She completed her adjuvant chemo, and she's on follow up. Next slide. And we got next therapy is called the HIPEC therapy. So again, this is one more work of my surgical colleagues, and he has done extensive reconstruction. He has removed a part of the face, put all the flaps. You can see the tongue. The tongue has been replaced, and the patient actually mobile with the good tongue mobility. So all this is done in Puducherry. This is what people say, like we have to go to Chennai, go to Delhi, go to Bombay, or go to other part of the country. No, we do it right here. And this is again like is one of the innovative, giving a hypothermia. It's actually a kind of what we do is take the chemo, feed into the machine. It actually burns the, it increases the temperature of the chemo, and then we feed the chemo into the abdomen. It's a kind of a hypothermia with chemotherapy. So what my surgical colleague does is he removes the tumor and gives the patient to me. We put 2 tubes. You can see the tubes at the side corner, and we feed this chemo into it in a hot form. And this chemo, along with hypothermia treatment, goes inside the abdomen. It actually has better penetration. That's what hypothermia does. It increases the vascularity, more penetration of chemotherapy drugs. So patient is doing very well post surgery, post HIPEC treatment, and she's on follow up. Next slide, please. And this is next is the already I've explained this the remission 1 degree, a state of kind of renovative therapy, I'll say. So initially I was very apprehensive in taking this hypothermia. I'm wondering what exactly is going to happen. Then I started to use for a stage 4 patients. So when I see like I be giving like low dose chemo or low dose radiation, then I added the hypothermia along with it. But few patients I'm little astonished to see the results. Next slide. So all these patients are palliative patients. You can see a red wound. So patients on a small dose of chemo with hypothermia, and he has got a good response, almost a complete response. And the next lady, a highly fragile lady, she comes in wheelchair with a huge neck mass, and go back, huge neck mass. And we have done only hypothermia with again a small dose of molecule of drug. So initially we thought like she's not going to save anything, but with this kind of therapy, we are seeing some miracles happening. And other lady, you can see this is a mass right, it's actually a right breast with a axillary mass. She refused surgery, saying I don't want any surgery. So we start giving neogen chemo, and she's only on this hypothermia right now, and she's got a good clinical response. So we are seeing some miracles happening with hypothermia, but we are generating more data on it. So we'll be coming up shortly with huge publications. Next slide, please. And this is hypothermia is there in Puducherry. So, and this one, people say like remove breast. I was pointing out earlier, like don't remove breast. So this lady is a young lady who came to us saying my breast have been removed, do something. So my friend who came to jump to it, she's actually a good hands. She's got good hands in reconstruction. She's actually located in Puducherry. She actually removed her abdomen and put it into as a breast tumor, breast mass. So she reconstructed her own breast using her own skin as abdomen, and you can see this almost symmetrical. So she is walking home disease free, and she is cosmetically doing well. Next slide. The next lady is challenging thing is again this girl is actually from Bangalore. She has taken multiple injections. So go back.
So we are running short.
Okay, I'm going to finish last slide. So she came with many keloids. So we removed the keloids again, and we given a local therapy. So and shows disease free now with on follow up. So thank you. So all these things can be done in Puducherry. So medical tourism is one thing. So we are going to look upon it. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Damodar, sir. Next, we call upon Mrs. Suman Sayani, founder of CEO Sayani Healthcare India, to have a session.
And before we invite our next speaker and all the next speakers over here, it's very humble request to all the speakers, since we're running short of time. It'd be really nice if you could keep it brief. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I got your message. Andarki namaskaram. I am Suman Sayani from Hyderabad. Basically, I'm a psychologist and a social work master's. I have 20 years experience in healthcare. The first 10 years I spent more in working in a hospital, in a corporate hospital, global hospital. I used to take care of all patients like counseling. I used to do psychosocial, financial and ethical counseling. And I represent the patient community and patient grievances I address. So average every day, 200 to 300 patients I used to counsel when I'm young. And slowly I developed the patient, what exactly patient wants. So I started working and I started my own company. Initially, we started with the home health services for all the NRI community, NRI parents we take care in India. So I used to do marketing in US, UK, Australia, Singapore, Malaysia, all Indian associations. Indian medical associations and also Indian cultural associations. I used to go interact with all the people and then connected with their relatives and families here, and we do service to them. And slowly we moved to medical tourism and Pan India, where aggregator with all hospitals, more than 500 hospitals, predominantly the major cities. So my slide is not there. Slide.
Slides, please.
So almost medical tourism thing, sir has, Dr. Damodaran has covered. So I'm not going to bore you with that, just a small slides. And India is bombarded with the patients in Chennai, Bangalore, Delhi, Calcutta, all major cities. Now we have to develop the tier 2 cities. We need to promote the tier 2 cities like Pune, Puducherry, Coimbatore, and Bihar, and some Jaipur. There are so many other cities that have excellent infrastructure, and only the media visibility should be there, branding should be there from, and government should promote the tier 2 cities. So for this, the patient will be more benefited for the pricing structure. Due to the real estate cost, the Chennai pricing and Coimbatore pricing, there is a lot of difference. Not only that, now flights are very compatible, like they can reach same 1 hour flight from Hyderabad to Coimbatore or Hyderabad to Chennai. Like that, the flights have improved. So we need to develop the tier 2 cities, especially all not only tourism, even medical tourism. So I'm just waiting for my slides. This is a quick slides to have a understanding of medical tourism in another perspective. Already doctor has explained everything, medical tourism and medical value tourism. So we just quickly go with the pricing and the comparison with other countries. And these are the small problems. Go back to previous slide. These are the few problems which we face for the customer point of view. And we also have solutions for this. So since 10 years, I'm in medical tourism. We work very hard from Bangladesh. Bangladesh is the highest volume patients come to India per day, 1,000 medical visa being issued. So they flood Chennai and Vellore like anything. And the rest goes to Delhi and Calcutta. And post-COVID, this video consulting and online consulting has improved a lot. So this is another big market for medical tourism. and a very easy way to reach the patients. And this is a small business model. CSL is client service location and CAL is client acquisition location, and a very small framework how the business model works for the medical tourism business. And this is a sample percentage. For this, even I want to, recently IVF also has boomed well nowadays. So they have a lot of market for IVF also. So for small cities, IVF centers will do good. And Unani, Ayurveda is also there for India. So medical tourism, I think it's going to be a very value addition for tourism sector all over India. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Sumansani, for explaining us with the presentation how other countries' percentage of medical expenses are there and how it is in India. Thank you so much. And next, we would like to call upon Mrs. Afrin Sheikh, Executive Director, Advanced Pakiza Unani LLP India, for sharing her presentation.
Assalamu alaikum, khawatino hazirat. In English, it means good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Afrin Sheikh, and I am the Executive Director of Advanced Pakiza Unani, also a sister concern of Taike Healthcare. I'm here to present on medical tourism. But before I say anything on medical tourism, do we know why this industry is growing like anything, medical tourism? Any idea? Yes, can I get an answer, especially from the students who have learned tourism or who are learning tourism? No?
So all of you are awake and you can definitely answer. And if not, then probably we can ask Jinnah sir to give a little, no, Jinnah sir is not willing to because he wants the rest to say a word.
I think people are just waiting for the session to get over as soon as possible, so I'm not going to take much of your time. I would like to introduce the Unani medical concept over here, all right? So when I was discussing with various people over here in the forum, I realized that people know about Ayurveda, people know about Siddha. Siddha is something that is practiced in the southern part of India, but people rarely know about Unani medication system or how Unani works. Okay, just to give a background about what Unani is, this is a Greek word, all right, and it comes from Greece. It has traveled across the globe and then come to India. It's an infusion of all the traditions from every country, and that's how we came up with this concept of Unani medication. My company, all right, we specialize in manufacturing medicines using the Unani approach, which is a very holistic approach, okay, non-invasive approach. People who want to avoid invasive approach of treatment can opt for Unani, all right, along with Ayurveda and Siddha as well. Because like I said, it has a holistic approach, and plus it is cost effective. Okay, though you will see the results in long term, but along with targeting the disease area, it also focuses on the overall health of an individual. Okay, I won't take much of your time. I'll just please go to the next slide. Yeah. So Unani is one of the ancient system of medicines in holistic approach, and it is rich in hundreds of concepts on hypothesis. It also has a strong philosophical basis, and it can cure chronic diseases like cancer, CRF, diabetes. Okay. 4 main fields of research which will help in future growth of Unani. Can we just go back to the slide? So we have literature fundamentals, we've got drug, pharmaceutical, and clinical researches. Next, please. To promote and make it advanced therapy in medical tourism, we have come up with a lot of improved herbs, okay? There are certain herbs in Unani which you don't get in India, it has to be imported. So we import these herbs, and our products that we manufacture, we we have these, what you say, 100% herbal extracts. We don't mingle it or mix it with any kind of chemical. You will see a pure form of herbal extract being administered to the patient. That is why the results are very effective. All right, just go to the next slide, please. Now, if you look at the statistics data, 80% of the global population is now moving towards non-invasive medical treatment. Okay, people do not want to undergo the knife. All right, so they are looking for alternate medicines or alternate treatments. Unani, Siddha, Ayurveda are such alternative treatments that can guarantee good healing and wellness for a patient. Next, please. The medical tourism model, this is a study wherein 64% of the population, they want customized medical treatment. When we say holistic approach, we are saying that we are not just treating you like a patient, but we are treating you like a family member. You are rejuvenating, all right? You are improving, your health is improving day by day, and we are constantly in touch with you to guide you. Okay, so 64% of the global population wants this kind of an approach in medical treatment, and that is what we will provide through medical tourism. Yes. Next slide. So our company offers package for medical tourism, right from information delivery, consultation with our expertise, and then providing the entire package till the time the patient is with us. We take good care of the patient until the patient departs to their own country. Next slide, please. Okay, the process we follow, we've got a portal, we've got a website, we've got tie-ups with hospitals like others have mentioned. You need to have a process flow in place, all right, in order to give the best experience to your patients and valuable experience with cost-effective treatment. Next, please. Next slide. So we specialize in men's health and women's health, all right? Golden Night is something that we promote, and it is very popular in India, across India as well. And within women's health, we have products like Ultragyne, which is for PCOD, PCOS, infertility, improves women, health. We have Urolca, which treats the urinary tract infection. We've got Flaptrim, which helps in losing weight, and we've got other products as well. So these are the advantages of Unani medicine. I just wanted to touch base on Unani so that you understand that yes, this is also an alternative way of treating chronic diseases. That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Afi ma'am. Actually, I can vouch for Unani medicine treatment because I have taken it myself and I was very, very satisfied with it. Very, very content. All right, having said that, let's move on to our next speaker. Please help me invite Dr. Danny Devasi, Chief Ayurveda Physician, TSL Nutraceuticals Pte. Limited, Singapore.
Very good afternoon. It's kind of tough to speak that too on the second session post lunch, and that too, I think third or fourth down the line. So please bear with me. I'll not take much of a time, and I would like to keep it short and simple and as interactive. So please go ahead. So my name is Dr. Danny Devasi, and I am the Chief Ayurveda Physician with TS Nutraceuticals. Today's agenda. So introduction, a short introduction about us, and then what is medical tourism? Most of the things are covered. And where does Ayurveda per se stands in the medical tourism sector? And we'll talk about the limitations and of course the future of telemedicine, which we are currently doing, and we have a share of success, which I would like to share. Next slide, please. So I represent TSL Nutraceuticals. Basically, we are a Singapore incorporated company, and we distribute traditional medicines and Ayurveda medicines of the highest quality. That is what we do, and all those products, whatever we give, it is basically research-based products, and our theme is basically the whole mission is to reach out to the world. And it is headed by Mr. Allen. He's my partner there in Singapore, and of course the core philosophy is very, very interesting, which actually pulled me also, was enriching life through holistic healing for better health. So this was the the tagline, and which they actually believe in. So that was very, very interesting, which actually, as my relationship with TSL for almost 6 years or so. So we just wanted to delve more into it. So basically, I have got a company where they're in Madurai. I belong to Madurai, so I've got a company, Blessings Healthcare India, and we believe in core principles. So in these 4 points, it talks about the gist of my company. You have the complete thing. So it is GIST. G is for genuineness, I for innovation, S for sincerity, and T for transparency. So we are absolutely transparent, absolutely genuine, and we try to make use of technology and innovative concepts to make more healthcare delivery to our patients and our clients. Next slide, please. So medical tourism, the best definition, there are a lot of definitions. The simplest was that you combine, medical tourism can be defined as a process of traveling outside your country of residence for purpose of receiving medical care. So this is the most sweetest and the most shortest definition that I could gather. And there are a lot of data, that medical value travel is around 44.5 billion, and Indian medical value traveler, the revenues are by 2024 we are seeing an upswing of close to around 13 billion US dollars. So there is a whole opportunity which is there, not only for Puducherry but for the rest of our country. And with the kind of technology, the kind of knowledge base that we have, we really have a lot of. It's a very, very unique opportunity to make the best out of it. Next. So why medical tourism is, especially into India, is getting such importance? Because of the affordability. It is, many of the procedures are 30 to 70% cheaper, and our co-panelists, they have already told you about the difference in the costs. And of course, the next point is, of course, the quality and the confidence. That means timely availability of the core expertise when required. In Singapore, some of my patients used to complain, we are looking for appointments, a month down the line or 2 months down the line. So those are the kind of things, in foreign countries, you have to wait for your own, turn for a proper medical consultation. So that is very, very critical. And of course, the better quality of health, by means of the accreditation that the hospitals are gaining. Not only the allopathic hospitals, the other Ayurveda hospitals are also gaining the same kind of thing, where National Accreditation Board for Hospital and healthcare providers, they are that Quality Council of India doing a great job in accrediting these hospitals together, so that the quality of the care as well as the whatever the procedures are followed, to the T. So it is very, very important to maintain that. And of course, India is also, advancing in the various healthcare technology. So that is very, very critical. So we are growing up in that way. So India is a very, very big, place where the medical tourism will definitely is going to be rising in the next decade and a half or something like that. We can see a very big explosion for that. Next slide, please. So as Dr. Damodaran and everybody has told that, what are the core areas, what medical tourism in India is all about. Basically, it's about allopathy, whatever surgeries, cancer, neurology, dental and cosmetology that are there, even organ transplant and infertility treatments. That is, the people are utilizing, the patients are utilizing the specialty. But along with that, the health and wellness, that means the Ayurveda in the illness and wellness segment, of course, the other Ayush department, expert hospitals, they are also coming up, including the spiritual tourism. So India is becoming the hub of such, expertise. Next slide, please. So just a small data on how Ayurveda and wellness tourism is growing, and This data, I just took it from some, data from the website itself, and by 2021 to 29, it is said that it will reach around 21.12 billion. That's a lot of money actually, which will be flowing into for global Ayurveda market, which is not only pertaining to India, but it's the global scale, and talks about the products and services both. So there will be definitely an upswing in the market, in the products. The high quality products will be there. Of course, then the services will also be there. The previous slide, please. I did not finish it off. So, then why? Because there is a demand for natural solutions and other things are there, and also post-COVID, there is during COVID, most of the wellness centers, they were also down. They were closed up. So now we are getting, even especially I am getting a lot of calls from my people who are outside. My contacts. They want to start up their own, not only in India but also in abroad. They want to start up. They want the therapist to be called back and all those things. That is gaining momentum now. Next slide, please. So now I'll be putting more pressure on, the focus will be on telemedicine, because, we have had a fair amount of success in that particular thing. And a speaker before that, she was mentioning about the role of the scope of telemedicine. So if you see, the word telemedicine is basically taken from Greece, Greek and Latin, both the mix are there. So tele is long distance, and of course, medere is to heal. So why we thought to incorporate telemedicine into our operation, into our kind of practice, and especially in my practice, because COVID was one of the biggest opportunity that came in. All the clinics in most of the places were shut down, patients can't travel. So it was like a very, very big opportunity to find out solutions, how to address or how to reach out to the patients. So then this came as a multi-dimensional approach where we tried to create an integrated healthcare platform. So not only Ayurveda, there are, my colleagues are there from the allopathic fraternity. We wanted to just do that. Even nutritionists, we wanted to combine. So what we wanted is like, it should be a platform where we give the expertise to the people, whatever they want, and let us give the best out of it at the least possible time and convenience. So the next point was, what we actually found out was the safety and ease of access. People were happy to sit at home rather than going to a hospital, which is like a scary environment, of course. So nobody wants to see, while you are waiting for your turn, you might be seeing people sitting, with various problems. Somebody will be going with an accident case, or somebody will be going to the morgue and all those things. So very, very scary situation. So it gave a lot of comfort to the patient. Yes, you can meet the doctor, but the thing is that you can sit at home and you can consult. Then, of course, it was lower cost, so it was more affordable to the patient. So no more traveling with the taxi, or no more depending on your relatives to actually come down and drop you at the hospital or waiting for your turn. Then it was also the usage of technology, whether it is WhatsApp, whether it is Google Meet, whether it is Zoom, whether it is, now I have my own, we have our own portal. So it was like how you use your technology to the maximum for the benefits of the patient. And then one other good thing was all our electronic medical records were all cloud-based, so it was very easy to access. And I still carry my laptop, so it is not necessary for me to run down to my clinic. I can, take a consultation right here, sitting in the booth, where I can talk to my patients and I can take the consultation right here, because everything is cloud-based, so ease of access. Then better patient compliance. Because once we give the consultation, so of course the next part is how the medicines or the herbs will go. So we have a very seamless kind of an operation where once the prescription is raised, it immediately goes to send to my people, my pharmacy department, where they will immediately send it to the patients. So that is there. And of course, better comfort. That means I told you earlier that there is no scare factor to attach to it. So the patient is more at ease, and he feels more at home talking to us rather than going anywhere else. Next slide, please. No, I just finishing off. So there are some challenges here which I felt that should be there. There is a missing patient-doctor connect. We are not able to feel the patient or something, touch the pulse or get the pulse and all those things. Those are some limitations, challenges that we are very there. then of course the trust factor. So if it's a repeat patient or it's a referred patient, no doubt about it. But the new patient acquisition, it becomes difficult because the person will not know, okay, whom am I going to talk to and all those things. So there is a trust factor which will be there. Then technological barriers, slow internet, or we had a couple of technical snags here. So it happens very often. So those are some of the technical glitches that we face. And we face a lot of challenge with elderly patients. They are unable to, because we have an app where it can be downloaded and done, but the elderly people are at times challenged. So we teach them, even we consult in WhatsApp itself. So we do a video consultation in WhatsApp. So it becomes convenient. And of course, the next challenge is the timely honoring of the prescription. Whatever prescription is raised, so it has the medicine or the herb dispensing has to be done immediate. There should not be any delay. So these are the challenges that I try to put forth across. And of course, my last slide is basically on the future of telemedicine, which I want to raise a point. But of course, the evolution of artificial intelligence and technological advancements, that is very, very critical. More dimensions of where physicians will be able to touch, feel, and see the patient more in a more real time. Medicine dispensing and dispatch can be done by drone approach now, since Amazon is you're dropping your parcels and all those things. So drone technology could be used in delivering the medicines. And of course, I say that there are limitless possibilities in the horizon, and the technology is ever evolving. So there are a lot of ways how we can improve on this particular topic. So with this, I really conclude everything, and I hope I am well on time. 10 minutes was given. I finished off in 10 minutes, I presume. Thank you so much. Have a great evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being so kind on finishing up at the exact time span which we had kind of designated. Thank you so much. And finally, we move ahead towards the last two eminent speakers for this particular session. And this is one of the most important facets which we need to adhere to and gain knowledge as well. Please help me welcome Dr. Rupa Rajiv, who is the demure endodontist and aesthetic dentist, and Dr. Jitendra Revankar, who's an implantologist from Elite Dental Clinic. Can I have a round of applause for the beautiful lady and sir joining us soon?
Yes, he'll be coming. Yes. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I wish to welcome all the dignitaries who come from across the world, and the key speakers from different parts of India, and the students and all other present over here. And also like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Jinnah and his team for putting up an excellent summit. This is truly integrated because as doctors, sometimes we go to our conferences, get to meet people, our contemporaries, but this is some place where it is medical tourism and spiritual tourism all coming together. So we have truly stands for my presentation today, holistic health. Can we please go to the previous slide? Yes. Me and my husband, Dr. Jitendra, we are putting up this last presentation for today, and thank you all of you for staying here. Being dentist, the topic for today is holistic health. That is probably because from the moment we've started our practice, we are in our 24th year of practice now. Every time when a client has walked in, we've never looked at just their mouth or the teeth. For us, it was always the well-being of the patient, which took us into association with a lot of other professionals, and we've developed the faith and trust of a patient. So much so that the patients who come to us, clients who come to us for dental treatment are getting treatment for a lot of other issues of their body through dental treatment. And at the same time, we have an association with various other disciplinaries, and we've been able to help them in a holistic way. So with this, next slide, please. The main focus for today's presentation will be what is holistic health. I will be speaking on some very interesting topic on food,
which is under Rasai Nutri and Raba Wellness. And then my husband will probably take it forward towards dentistry component of a presentation. Next slide, please. So according to WHO, the definition of health is a state of complete physical, mental, social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease. Now, on this podium, we have some excellent presentation on medical aspect as to what we need to do when we're unwell. There was excellent presentation by Oxymed, young doctor from Oxymed here, who spoke about heart health and how we could treat. But here, it is not just the presence of or absence of a disease. We need to have a more holistic approach towards what is a well-being. Okay, so when we talk about holistic, it is more of an integrated, that is the whole system, the whole body is so connected. Why is the term holistic is becoming so popular now? That's because I guess with advances in our field of science, there is more of specialization and super specialization which are developing, which is getting into a telescopic view of seeing a patient. A cardiologist is seeing the heart, a nephrologist is probably seeing the kidney, a dentist will probably supposed to look at only the teeth, but we need to look at the patient as a whole. Every part of the human body is so intricately connected, and making it seeing them as a whole is what is the whole concept of holistic health. So when we talk about holistic health, it's not just the body, mind, and the social, it also involves the emotional, cultural, the traditional, environmental, and the spiritual factors which influences health. Next slide, please. So this is just a slide for you all to see. Basically, when we talk about physical health, the body needs nutrition, sleep, exercise, and rejuvenation. And I'm going to be focusing more on the nutrition part here. The rest of it is just for your information, because most of you are from different fields here, and I guess people over there is not really the medical field. So you need to know, for the mind to be healthy, we need to have, keep the same slide. It's about, for the mind health, we need to have the mind stimulated, arouse curiosity in it, have a creative expression and exploration, social. It's about how we connect with each other, with our society, emotional aspect, how we feel. I guess this is really becoming popular now, how we feel about ourselves and about others, and the cultural, emotional, and the spiritual. Next slide, please. So when we talk about holistic health, I guess India has always been a hub for the cultural, spiritual experiences, you know, our old practices of yoga, pranayama, acupressure, the mama points. These have been very traditional practices of our country, and it's always been a focal point. And this is what has been a focus towards India from the rest of the world. The world has always looked at it for these practices that we've had. Next slide. So like I said, I will be speaking more on the nutrition aspect of it today. We're not going to go into, when we talk about the physical health, the first point that came up was nutrition. So food. Our body is made up of food. That's why it's called as Annamaya Kosha. And what has happened to food today? What is the kind of food that we like to take is something which appeals to our senses, something which looks good, something which looks tasty, something which smells nice is the food that we all want to eat. If it's not us, at least that is what our children are wanting to eat now. Even the Indian traditional food is presented in a Western way. The chapati is made of pasta look. A sandwich has to be made something very funky in a Western way. So what is happening is somewhere we are losing the connect with a traditional food that we were eating. Our body is made up of food, and whatever genes we are having today is carrying the memories of what the food our ancestors had eaten. So if with the culture mixing and with so much of travel, with global tourism, we are losing our traditional food concepts. We are going more and more into interculture, and our body may not be knowing as to how to even digest food. So having said that, it's not easy to just go back to our traditional forces or, means also. So I'm happy to introduce this new concept that is by Rasai Nutri and Raba Wellness, which talks about bridging the gap in the food habits. It's basically about bringing about healthy cooking and mindful eating habits. So Rasai Nutri basically has some kitchen items in the mobs of herbal teas and tisanes, some rasams and sambars, which follows the ancient tradition of blending the fruits, vegetables, flowers, and other plant extracts, which can be very healthy, which can be improving. It's like, person can feel the healthy mind and body balance by taking these things. Our aim is mainly to restore a gut health, because gut health, something which is actually not focused on in the medical field right now. This is what is the founder of our products is noticed. And the whole concept of Rasai Nutri and Raba Wellness is focusing on gut health. Next slide, please. These are some of the tisanes that are available, and they're all specific in terms of seasons, and also the indications, when you have to use the tea, for what particular conditions, or what are the health benefits that you could use by taking these tisanes. Next slide. And next slide, please. How is it that these tisanes are health promoting? How is it that they're so effective? Is because these tisanes contains what is called as phytonutrients. Phytonutrients are nothing but compounds which are accumulated in different parts of the plant, which could be the bark or the stem or the branch or the flower or the fruit. Like we said, we take these extracts from the different parts of the plant, and they basically have this antioxidative, antimicrobial, hormone metabolism influencing or stimulate the immune system. These are the different properties these have. Although they're used in very minute quantities, the effect they have on your body is very profound. And they bridge the gap. It's like, what the body needs, the mother nature knows. So these plants, which are coming from the soil and the sun, they have such high medicinal values, which we have forgotten. Most of us have moved into eating processed food these days, and our body is really not getting the right elements that is required to promote healing, bring about healing. And that is what we are looking at. Next slide, please. So basically, we are so strongly connected to nature, but somehow over a period of time, we have all got diverted, distracted, forgotten our ancient traditional methods of healing. So Rasai Nutri is just one way of bringing back that connection with nature and taking the right amount of food or the right element of food so that the body can heal by itself, and making use of the natural intrinsic intelligence that we have in us, which can promote healing in itself. It's not a replacement for the traditional medicines that we need to take, but it can be a very strong adjuvant which can help you get better sooner in a much quicker and a healthier way. Thank you so much. I would, I guess the dental part of us, which we do normally, will be continued by my husband, Dr. Jitendra. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everybody. Last speaker of the day, please bear with me. Actually, the topic that I was supposed to speak here is a one-day lecture that I usually give. It's an 8-hour lecture, but I have to compress it in 10 minutes. So let me try to doing my best. Okay, just dentistry, routine dentistry. I don't have to explain it, what it means. You get a root canal, you get a crown done, you get a tooth replaced, or you get dentures or whatever. But yeah, we are doing the next level of dentistry. Me and Dr. Rupa, my better half, we have traveled the world looking at something called as temporomandibular disorders, body balance. It's an amazing concept, which is for the past 1 decade, I would say, or more, it has opened up our mind to opened up our practice and revolutionized the way we are practicing our trade in terms of And there's one more thing that I'd like to talk is about sleep apnea and dentistry. Sleep apnea is nothing but people, to put it in a simple way, people who snore a lot, or snoring is supposed to be a joke in Indian movies. You see some local movies or Bollywood movies also. There's always joke about people snoring. It's actually anything but a joke. Snoring is a very, very dangerous thing. Anybody who's snoring more than a normal has to get checkups done, whether their hearts and their BP is normal, or there is, coming back to what I'm trying to speak, is their mouth, their jaw, and their teeth are in the right position. Now, can I have the next slide? I'll just keep talking. Can I have the next slide, please? Yeah, so functional aesthetic golden proportion, you'll have all these slides on the internet, you'll get to know. See, everything in the body has some kind of symmetry, including the face, the teeth, the jaws, including the spine. There's something called as the Fibonacci series, and it can be put onto the body in various ways. And you'll see that the Fibonacci series can be attributed in various parts of the body. Can I have the next slide, please? So without going into detail, I'm sure you people will understand what I'm trying to explain here. It is basically, I'll concentrate talking about the lower jaw or the mandible, where most doctors will understand, where there is a normal looking face, and there are two other images there which are showing that the lower jaw is either deficient, hugely deficient, or hugely prognatic is the term, that is it's overdeveloped. Now we are going to concentrate only on the middle image wherein the lower jaw is deficient. Now what happens? What happens when the lower jaw is deficient? It's quite common in the west of India and a little bit in the south of India that people have a smaller chin and a smaller jaw. So basically what happens is your tongue, which is sitting in the floor of your mouth, and 70% of your tongue is sitting somewhere near your throat. Physicians and doctors will understand what I'm saying. When you're sleeping, and if you do not have enough space in your mouth for your tongue, that is in the image, the middle part of the image that has been shown, where the lower jaw is small, the tongue falls back in the throat, and that is where you literally start choking or start snoring. You're not getting enough oxygen into your system. That is where we call as sleep apnea. And doctor here was rightly talking about how important is oxygen. Yes, we all know about pranayama and other things, how important it is to oxygenate our body properly. But the most important part, whatever exercise you do, is rest. That is, in your sleep, you have to rejuvenate yourself. And anybody who has any kind of sleep apnea or jaw disorders will wake up tired, will not be able to wake up early from bed, and will be kind of lazy through the day, will not be able to concentrate and focus during the day, will feel like the very common thing. No, everybody talks about, oh, after lunch, it's not good to be a part of a lecture because you feel sleepy. You technically should not be feeling sleepy after lunch. If you are really feeling very sleepy after lunch, means you have some issue with oxygenation and sleep apnea. And that is where we come into play. Can I have the next slide, please? That is where we as dentists come into play, wherein, next slide, where we can correct your jaw. There are three ways of correcting, either in a development stage where the child is, very commonly dentist will say, okay, bring the child at the age of 12 and we'll put some braces for you. That's absolutely wrong, where you have to monitor the child as young as 3 to 6 years, where you can actually see whether the jaw is growing in proportion, the upper jaw and the lower jaw is growing proportionally or not. And we can make the child grow up into a more aesthetic, I'm not talking about looks, more symmetry and more aesthetic looking person, if we can monitor the child through the early age and teenagers. And we have to see those children early so that they don't end up with such problems. The second phase is corrective phase, where, okay, you are already a grown-up adult and you are in your middle ages, and if we have literally have a 24-point questionnaire where we ask you questions like, do you have ear pain? Do you have headaches? Can I have the next slide? Do you have headaches? Do you have problems sleeping? Do you have spine problems? Do you have body balance issue? That is, even most of us, I'm also standing on one leg now. I'm putting more weight on my left leg. So most of us have these issues. We don't stand flat on our feet. And trust me, it all depends on the balance that starts with the jaw. If your lower jaw is balanced perfectly, you will be standing straight. You will not have a hunch. You will not have health issues. You will not have lower back pain. You will not have knee pain. Fine. You will not have any of these systemic disorders if your body balance is correct, if you're oxygenating yourself enough, if your lung capacity is good, and if you're breathing right. So this is the next level of dentistry that we are practicing, where we have this foot to spine connection. And in our questionnaire, we ask all these questions and we diagnose. We not only try to treat, but we treat 90% of our patients for migraines. Can I have the next slide? We treat patients migraines within 24 hours to 48 hours. This is another slide of body balance. This is one of our favorite patients. This, you see the cant in the shoulder of this kid, and in a matter of 1 year, she never used to smile. She never used to give an eye contact because she never used to breathe properly. She was low on confidence. All we did is correct her jaw cant, correct her teeth a little bit, nothing major, nothing expensive, and she turns out to be a healthy, smiling teenager. Can I have the next slide, please? So these are the things, it will be a very curious thing for the audience here to understand, that we as dentists, if we know what we are doing, we can treat each and 9 out of 10 patients with these problems, where they have ear pain, ringing in the ears. We had patients who were scheduled for surgery the next day for pain and ringing in the ear, and we could correct that issue without surgery by giving an appliance in the mouth, where the TM joint was the joint here. When you, for the non-medical people, the joint here, which is very close to the ear, if your jaw is compressed too much, it compresses the ear, the middle ear and all that, and you get all these symptoms of vertigo, dizziness, ringing in the ears, and patients literally come like this, that I have unbearable sound in my ear. We can cure them in a fraction of a second by giving them a right appliance. And other things like, with all due respect to orthopedicians, spondylitis and lower back pain, non-injury related, starts with an imbalance in the jaw. And we have reversed. My wife has done a case. This girl is in Canada. She has 30-degree scoliosis. And she came to us with a routine dental problem, and we observed that this girl had scoliosis, and we saw that her jaw was tilted to another side. In a span of 2 years, by giving her different appliances, we could get her jaw. She was a grown-up adult. She was in her 20s, early 20s. We could straighten her jaw, and her scoliosis improved by about 75% by just treating her jaw position. So we can treat sensitivity in the eye, jaw problems, headaches, like I said, migraines, 24 to 48 hours, 9 out of 10 patients get cured of migraines. This is the next level of dentistry that we do. Can I have next slide, please? I don't want, like I said, this is my full day 8-hour lecture. I don't want to talk much. This is a device for sleep apnea we give for snoring, patients who are snoring, patients who don't sleep well and all that. Next slide. How does it, next slide please, how does it affect heart? You're not oxygenating yourself well. Doctor will understand what I'm saying. So if you're not oxygenating here, the brain gives you a signal to the heart that it's not getting enough oxygen. So the heart has to pump harder. So your BP rises, your heart rate rises, and you're sometimes waking up with choking sensation in the throat in the middle of the night. All these things can be solved by dental appliances or correcting your jaw and teeth. Next slide, please. I just want to run through and finish. Next slide, please. So this is what I was talking about, the tongue. The 70% of the tongue is in the throat. It falls back, chokes your throat. If your tongue is bigger size and if your jaw is smaller, if there is a mismatch, and we can cure this, maybe not very easily, but yes, quite effectively, we can take care of this problem also. Next slide, please. And this is the latest issues today. In the past 2 decades, everybody is with mobile phones. It's a self-explanatory slide that the more we bend forward, the more weight the skull puts on the spine. And we are coming with we are getting a lot of patients with major issues of spine and jaw and all kinds of things. And we sort out these things also. Of course, there is some counseling required for people. Can I have the next slide, please? These are some of the cases of cosmetics with body balance that are done. These are some cases are as simple as 1 hour. 1 hour, especially the patients, the top patients, they are all 1 hour procedures. There are some cases which needs a week's treatment. Next slide, please. We have a lot of patients who come from European countries. This is one of our clinics. We have a group of clinics by the term Elite Dental Clinics in Bangalore. We have a few clinics there. Next slide, please. We'll just finish this. This is again our clinic in Sadashinagar in Bangalore. Next slide, please. Next slide, please go through fast. Again, the clinic. Next slide, next slide, next slide. And my team of doctors and assistants. Next slide. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes. We want to do that, but it is the other way. It is like starting from feet or from the jaw. So with all due respect, you must be a chiropractor. Yeah. So with all, you're also a dentist. Fantastic. So you're treating both ends.
Regenerating the degenerated pulp tissue and periodontal fiber tissue and alveolar bones.
Pulp tissue we don't want to rejuvenate. It is what gives you tooth pain. Periodontal tissue, yes, we are working on some homeopathic medicines for periodontal tissue rejuvenation. We'll talk about it. And what I wanted to say is, yes, I don't think we should start from bottom up in curing things. Allopathy does that. It gives you a tablet for headache, but we don't know where the headache is coming from. So we should start from top down. And in my subject, it's the jaw. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rupa Rajiv and Dr. Jitendra Revakumar. So now
Actually, very aptly, I'm so sorry, Lavanya, I'm kind of barging in over here. Very rightly, we say that doctors to Bhagwan ke roop hote hain. I mean, you can change possibly everything and anything possible, right? And you showed us examples of it. Hats off to them. Can I have a round of applause for both of them? Thank you. Yes, Lavanya.
As end of the session, we are here playing 3 videos of Oxyman Hospitals, India. So here we go.
We're gonna play this. Hole hole, kunjum kunjum. Well, I believe that we will do it. We will play the video. We won't give up.
சக்கரை வியாதியால கால் எடுக்கிற ஸ்டேஜில் இங்கே வந்த பல பேர் குணமாயி இப்போ ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா இருக்காங்க. ஆறாத புண்கள், தீக்காயங்கள், ஸ்ட்ரோக், ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ் இன்ஜுரி போன்ற பலவிதமான நோய்களுக்கு HBOT மூலமா ட்ரீட்மெண்ட் பண்ணலாம்.
HBOT வசதி உள்ள தென்னிந்தியாவின் ஒரே மருத்துவமனை ஆக்சிமெட் ஹாஸ்பிட்டல்.
என்ன மாதிரி ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ்மேனுக்கு HBOT ரொம்ப யூஸ்ஃபுல்லான ட்ரீட்மெண்ட்.
So much. Thank you so much for all the dignitaries to having this session right here. So next we would like to call upon our United Holdings Inc. Chairman, our beloved Jinnah sir, to come up on stage, please. To give books as a token of love for all our dignitaries present here.
Starting off with Dr. Sama Akbar, representing Itsp Hospital, India. Can I have a round of applause? This is the last time I'm requesting you, trust me. I want more people. Thank you. I would also request Dr. Damodaran, oncologist, Indira Gandhi Hospital, Government, Puducherry, to kindly step forward and receive the love we have for him. I would now also request Mrs. Suman Sayani, the founder and CEO of Sayani Healthcare India, to kindly step forward and receive the honor. जोरदार तालियों से मैं फिलहाल बुलाने दावा देने जा रही हूँ मिसेस आफरीन शेख को, एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर एडवांस पाकिजा यूनानी LLP India. Kindly keep the applauses on for Dr. Dani Devasi, Chief Ayurveda Physician, TSL Nutraceuticals Pte. Limited, Singapore. Last but not the least, Dr. Rupa Rajiv and Dr. Jitendra Revamkar. Dr. Kapoor, who has been doing a wonderful job, making everybody have a beautiful smile. Jinnah sir, we have another book, if you could. So there is no chaos between the husband and wife. Who will read the book first? That is right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Jinnah sir, I would request you to kindly stay back for a photo opportunity with all our dignitaries. Kindly step forward, requesting everyone.
Thank you so much, all the dignitaries who are presented here. Yeah.
All the doctors, all the tour operators, all the hospitals, whatever we try to integrate, I think the best integration is done by Jinnah sir. Final integration for everything has been done by him. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Well, honestly, the vote of thanks should have come from our end, but it's coming from our guests' end, and that actually marks the success of day one. Can we rightly say that?
Yes, actually, we see that as the success of this event. Thank you so much for giving applause for us, sir. And also there is a gala dinner which is starting by 6:30 p.m. In Shenbaka Hotel, and we would like to invite all our dignitaries to be present there. And thank you so much for all the love and support we have been given us from the morning, and you have waited before the event could begin. And thanks a lot for coming up and be present there at the gala dinner by 6:30 p.m.
Having said that, tomorrow is the day 2 of this summit. please make sure that you all are here tomorrow morning, as we have two most important sessions where we have key panelists, we have eminent speakers, and I'm sure the takeaways are going to be absolutely remarkable. So please make sure you are here tomorrow. I'm talking to all the audience and all our dignitaries present here as well. Having said that, in between, Lavanya, we were talking about food and heritage and culture of Puducherry.
There is Puduvai Food and Cultural Expo happening in, from 14th to 23rd of this month. Please be there, and you can go and explore a lot about food and culture about Puducherry. Please be there, and we would invite you all to the venue.
So Lavanya is actually extending an informal invite to all of you that please make sure, even if you're a local of Puducherry, make sure you're there to witness the love, the warmth, the food and heritage of Puducherry has to offer. Ladies and gentlemen, till then, have a fantastic evening ahead. And we are looking forward to hosting our dignitaries yet again at the gala dinner. This is Sylvie and...
Yes, this is Lavanya Sriram. Once again, I'm remembering you all about the Puduvai Food and Cultural Festival event happening on 14th to 23rd October 2022. And the inauguration is happening today at 6 p.m. at Old Port Puducherry. Be there, everyone.
Thank you so much. We're signing off for the day.
அனைவருக்கும் நன்றி.